All right, what's popping, y'all? We back in here with the Squid Games Aftermath podcast. I'm your humble host, DeAndre. I'm here with a couple guests, few guests of mine. I'm very honored to have these gentlemen on there, some of the most fabulous, young, strikingly handsome men that I have had the honor to meet. We got Mr. Rick, Mr. 232. Rick, what's going on?
It's going good. It's going real good right now.
Rick, where you tell me where you at right now?
I'm at home.
Where's home, Rick?
All right, that's a good answer. I like that answer. All right. And then we got...
I am in Katanning, Pennsylvania. We're about 45 miles northwest of Pittsburgh.
Okay. New cities. And then we got the KC boys up top. Can we introduce... Can y'all introduce yourselves for me from left to right, please?
Oh, wait, which your left? Your left, left up there?
Your guys is right.
So that's me. My name is Stephen, aka Player 243, aka Quadzilla. Hey. I'm Desi. They called me a bunch, but I didn't go. Yeah, just had a baby.
Yeah, respect. My name is Chase. I was player. If you blink, you missed it. 242 up in that bit. I thought, red light, green light's a little too easy. I'm gonna go ahead and get out.
Yeah. We'll let them have it.
I'll let them have it.
My name is Kyle. I applied, but sadly they didn't like me enough. So
no.
It is what it is.
Okay. Well, we couldn't get the whole gang up in there. Y'all have been overpowered, so they had to break y'all power down. They knew y'all would have just took the money home too easy,
Yeah, I was there with my bestie though. What up, Hood?
Okay. We got everybody up in here.
Yes, sir.
And I'm player 288 if y'all didn't get that. But excellent. So we're gonna jump right into it, y'all. Everybody here, we talking about Squid Games. We're going to get the stuff that people want to hear. First off, I want to ask you guys, I'll start with Rick. What made you want to apply for the show?
Oh, it was an easy decision. As opposed to some players in the game, I watched Squid Game, the original series, many times before I even knew you could apply for it. And I watched many of the episodes many times after that. I really got into it. It's just a series that really just moved me. Just the idea of being in such a situation, and then I was just looking through the internet to see if there was a second season in June. The timing was perfect because I only do this every so many months with my favorite shows, and there was an opportunity to apply. And then, as I tell everybody, 3 seconds, I'm doing this. Didn't tell anybody in my family. I just said I was on vacation then, and I spent the rest of the time there planning my strategy for an application for this. And came home and I did it in private, and things worked out very nicely for me.
Yeah, we all know. Okay, undercover superstar.
Right, creating your own destiny.
Yeah, right. I didn't want to tell my family I was applying for Squid Game because they think you're old. You need to buy a rocking chair. What are you doing?
Little did they know that was an advantage.
And but when after many correspondences, I had to let somebody know that this could actually happen. And I still didn't believe it until the day they called me.
Yeah. Was that the day they called you and told you you're a mole, or not the mole?
December 8th, a day that will live in my brain forever.
Okay, you got the date down to the dot. All right, Casey boys, tell me why each one of y'all wanted to apply for the show.
I'll go last.
Well, it starts
in
with
any order. Any order is fine.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Steven has been making a name for himself on social media for quite a while. So, in fact, what happened, I don't think any of us had ever even once considered trying out for auditioning for a reality show. Steven, are we not doing this?
No.
Oh, we don't need these ones. Steven was invited by one of the casting producers, was a fan of Steven from social media, reached out to Steven, and same thing I would have done, said, I'm not going nowhere without my boys.
Yep.
So Steven auditioned. He told us all to send a video to this link. We all put on our best little, hey, pick me type vibe.
Oh, well, that's not what happened. I didn't apply. I think it was just you two that originally applied. And I don't know if they had decided that you guys were on the show yet, but then they asked they obviously saw the KC boys, all our stuff, and asked if anybody else would be interested in applying. They need more people to apply. And so then that's when I applied. It was like a month after you guys did yours.
It was a while later.
Yeah. And then so like me and our other buddy Blakeston and a couple other people from our moving company when we were running that at the time applied. But I think
you got the whole crew to apply. Wow, gee.
Yeah. They asked us to apply, and I think it ended up only me and Blakeston applying, and then I went through got a couple phone.
James did. A couple.
Okay. I think I got a couple phone calls back from them, and then never heard from them. And then Blakeston, they specifically called him and
they went out of their way to call him.
You will not be on our show. We do not want you. Don't forget that.
But as far as why though, that's obvious. This was, I mean, to us, this is like an opportunity of a lifetime pursuing something like this, which I didn't even know. It never crossed my mind to go try to be on a reality show or a game show or anything like that. And just the experience, something that very few people could ever get the chance to experience. And I didn't even at the time understand how groundbreaking it was going to be, because Squid Games, the drama was so popular, but I didn't realize the level, the scale a game show, a real life game show would be, but just the adventure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
In fact, I lied left and right on my application.
He said I was white.
I got spark notes from Chase. I said, Chase, give me the rundown. What's up with this show? And then I pretty much just had him do the application for me. He's the smart one. And but no, I lied about watching the show and pretty much stole his answers. And then got lucky, and they say, "Hell yeah!" I mean,
so you haven't watched Squid Games?
No, I did. I watched. I mean, I couldn't watch it because I got the kids at home and it's gory. So I basically watched it on the way there, in a way. And so yeah, it was all
over. What
a fucking phony!
What a phony!
Yeah.
Hey, look, now he at least got the show in, so he got the premise down. All right, so we got the applications in. We get on the show. Some of us don't, but it's all right. We got some people's in the show, so we inside. Rick, we'll start with you. Can you tell me what's kind of going through your head once you enter the red light, green lights auditorium, I guess you could say?
Well, I prepared. I practiced red light, green light. I practiced it, her singing the song, her saying green light, red light. I practiced with grandchildren. Just walking the dogs, I would stop and go, try to hold balances.
Can you sing the song for me right now?
No.
Good answer.
I don't remember the song.
No, actually, I could sing it, but I won't. But anyways, then, and I thought I was going to do okay. I mean, I was really confident. But after that first 5 second, I'm sorry. And I had to stand there, and I'm not one who stands very well. I'm very fidgety. And
Same.
After 15, 20 minutes frozen in that position, and my first position was an awkward one. I said, I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to still try. But I'm not going to finish. And then later on into it, I still had great doubts I was going to finish, but I was going to forgive myself because this is tough.
Yeah.
Did you start?
5 minutes. Yes.
No, go ahead. Continue.
Well, I would have forgiven myself for failing because it was difficult. It wasn't just the 5 minute sprint. And then as I got closer, I got to do this. I got to get to the dorms. So my strategy of going slow and careful was not the right strategy. You had to really push it a little bit.
Did you start near the front of the line or the back of the line?
Back of the line. I wasn't across the starting line after the first song. So I was five. I was a bit of a disadvantage. And I went slow also in the beginning. And I knew there was an issue when I heard somebody way up in front. If you're not here by the middle of the thing at 2.5 minute mark, you're going to have trouble. And I was probably not even halfway there. And oh, geez, we got an issue.
Oh, man. It was getting hot up in there, even though it was so cold, man. All right, what about y'all? Tell me, Stephen and Chase, kind of what was your first impression seeing kind of the grandiose stage of everything?
I was giddy. I mean, we were both giddy, dude, just seeing how big everything was and how accurate it was. It was just really freaking cool. So I was kind of trying to take that all in. But even more important than that, I was worried about cracking jokes with other people and messing around with Chase and trying to trick people into thinking we weren't actual friends. So Yeah, it was really freaking cool, but I was messing around for the most part.
Yeah, something that's hard to get across on TV, just because we're used to seeing just such incredible things on TV, obviously, is the scale of the whole thing. Like that hangar that we were in, I've never been in a place that big. The scale of the red light, green light, and how it couldn't have been any better. The doll was, 12, 15 feet tall. We played rugby. The red light, green light was bigger than a rugby pitch. It was absolutely massive. Obviously, to be able to have almost 500 people in there. The cameras, I think I counted out, I think there were 32 cameras, including the drones that were flying ahead of us or above us. Just the scale of everything, and just only having, a few short hours to just take it in and still being lost in the mix of what the fuck is going on right now. It was very cool.
It made me feel like a kid again, which was really freaking nice.
Yeah.
Did you guys think about maybe not standing next to each other during the start of the race?
Yeah, but I had this issue throughout the whole show. We got pulled over for interviews and whatnot before the game even started. So, I mean, people already had their eyes on us as being a pair, which we were trying to play off. Not very well, but we were trying to play off. And then, lo and behold, we end up front and center of the whole damn thing before it starts.
How did you end up front and center? Did they put you there? You guys just put you there?
So we interviewed, and then they dismissed us in a way or whatever. And then we saw our friends that we were talking to in the front, and we just joined.
Yeah. So we were in the middle, in the center, and up front, right in the thing.
Bullied your way all the way.
Opposite of Rick.
Yeah, no, it was definitely hard to get up front because they had to start, do the practice, and then come back, and you had to get back in spots, and people were fighting, and like I was in the front the first time, but then once we got back, people took my spot, so I had to kind of fight my way back to the front. So it was a little tricky situation because people kind of got an idea of the practice around how actually it's going to go. So.
I forgot we had practice.
Yeah, no, it was that. I mean, you had to do the stretches and all that stuff. So it kind of got you an idea. Okay, so we got red light, green light started. Boom, starts going. The game is long, hard, and tough. Unfortunately, our dear friend, Chase.
242.
242, the infamous number, is sadly evicted from the house. And so, what was kind of like when you found out, when you Squid popped, were you like thinking like, oh, I didn't move, or oh, like what happened, or did you know like, yeah, I moved and they got me?
Dude, this kid, I'm not even joking. I could spend a whole hour explaining the whole story, but I'll be quick. The show definitely doesn't do justice for how hard that game was. Like when I came back, and my family knows I play, high level rugby and work out every single day, and they was like, I couldn't really explain to them red light, green light. They're laughing in my face like, bro, you got out at red light, green light. How does that even make sense? But they didn't. I don't think the show showed how really hard it was. Like that one girl was in a squat position, and I talked to her after the fact, and she was there for over a half hour. But in the final cut, it looked like she just gave up, and that's not the case. But just the whole skill part, especially the people that made it. I went out halfway through, and we had already been there for at least a few hours. For somebody like Rick, who it took almost the whole time,
no, he took the whole time. It was the last one.
Yeah, like that is to me, that's mind-boggling, Rick. That is absolutely incredible because I was there and felt how hard that was to be able to do that. You got to take yourself somewhere mentally. But yeah, I knew I was gung-ho. I didn't have, when I say I had no strategy, bro, like I would stop. The first time I stopped like this. I was like, why are my hands up right now? And then I heard Steve when we started, he was like, put them in your pocket. So the next time I stopped, we're scooting along, my hands are in my pocket, but just dumb stuff, just not thinking about anything. And then in my mind, I was like, I don't think I moved, but I have a sense that this is pretty fucking accurate. Like, I'm not worried about it. I'm sure if I got out, I'm sure it's fair. And I didn't think I'd move, so it was a surprise. I just saw a screenshot.
Hold on, because in my biased opinion, you fucking moved.
Yeah. He was right behind me.
I saw it right in front of me. I was like, no, Chase. Because it was this number. That's all it was. And I was like, yep, he's about to get got. 5 minutes later, smack.
Yeah.
Got him.
So there is a screenshot I just saw on my Instagram it's me looking down and it was exploded on my chest, and I was like, yeah, wow. That's it. Okay. Anyway, it was definitely a surprise, but I think it was all fair. It was all legit.
Yeah. Gotcha. Well, R.I.P. man, you did a great job regardless of what anyone say. You still know me in our hearts over here.
You had a lot of screen time.
Right.
Yeah. No, you did. You did. All right, so we'll fast forward through red light, green light. Our friend Rick and Stephen both make it through. Congratulations. We elated.
Yes.
So after
Yes.
you guys are finished, when did you two first meet each other?
Rick, I'll let you take that.
Yeah, we met the next day. They took us directly from the hotel again to these tents, just these black tents. And each one had 50 chairs in it for the survivors, and they were all numerical ordered. And my chair, number 232, was the first chair of that new tent, of the next tent. And Stephen was 243, and the 10 or whatever people between us were eliminated red light, green light. So he sat right next to me. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, of course, you start talking, and we started. I was telling him my life, showing him my leg and the tattoo on it, of course. And he was telling me about his life. We're very different. Maybe that's why we attracted to each other. His youth, and you know, social media is completely a foreign word for me, and how he, you know, survives off of that. And you know, I'm just more in the, you know, hands-on groundwork from being, you know, turning 69 then, or we sat next to each other. It wasn't we hunted for each other. It was just fate threw us together.
Yeah, no, definitely. I was in that tent with y'all. I was in the back, so I remember seeing both you guys in there. That's awesome. So I'll ask both of you these. What was your first impression? Like, you see this person sitting right next to you, kind of like, what's your initial impression?
Of each other, you mean?
Or with Steve? Yeah.
You mean of each other?
Of you two. Like, you see Rick sitting next to you, Steven, like, what you thinking? Like, dang, like, what you thinking?
I thought he had superpowers because he outlasted Chase, who is far above average in regards to strength and stamina and just overall athleticism. I was like, what is this man? Let me get to know him. And sure enough, he did everything right. He was prepared. He had been practicing literally standing still with his grandson or grandkids. And I was like, damn, this man's the real deal.
What about you, Rick?
I thought Steve was a very different person than me. You know, again, younger, larger. He looked different, you know, but he also like the nicest guy ever, because we talked like he was one of my own kids. I mean, just so natural. And, you know, it's hard for me to, at my age, to talk to a younger person, very different than me, and just like as if we had known each other for such a long time. And he talked to me, and he took me under, I think he took me under. And it was, I just felt real comfortable with him. It was just so nice. You know, we bonded. It was so an unlikely situation in my eyes, but he was so easy to be around.
I think what it was I lacked like a father figure in life because my dad is off doing his own thing and he freaking sucks. I don't know. I just kind of I bonded to him in that way and just wanted to keep him around. And
you never told me that.
I never did. I wasn't ballsy enough to.
I wasn't going to ask you anything about, you know, like that kind, but you know, I'm hearing now afterwards that you know, that I'm very sorry that part of your life, and now I understand a little bit more. You know, I you know, you were maybe that looking for that kind of a more of a relationship. I was just more thinking friends, thinking you had a great dad, like, you know, and that I want to be with my kids, and I didn't know you had issues. Maybe it's what I didn't, you know.
I mean, that's why I was inquiring so much about what you were doing and about your family, because I was like, damn, this is how it's supposed to be as a dad. And
yeah,
I just wanted to keep you around. I mean, they even showed it at one point in the show where I was like, where the hell is Rick? You were looking for me. I was like, all right, we're over here. Rick, come on.
No, I know. I was so happy.
Whenever they were sorting the lines, he was Rick. Yep, there he is. And you were walking around Steve. Where's Steve?
They didn't show it, but there was like 2 or 3 other people who was trying to get me to go to their line because we thought it was tug of war. And I was like, no, I'm going wherever the old man is. And I was looking for you, but they made it look pretty short and sweet. But no, we were looking for a minute.
Yeah, it was a wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome that you guys came close just like that. I mean, the people next to me in that tent, I got really close to as well. And they kind of were like my people's going through. So you get in the tent, get in the game. We have a great moment. Everyone sings happy birthday. It was wonderful moment. He had a glorious speech for everybody. That was lit. We're gonna fast forward to after Dalgona, and that is when, because I took a million notes, we see the players come back and whatnot, and then this is when you guys make your alliance. Pronounce me if I'm saying this wrong. The gganbu gang.
G-A-N.
gganbu gang.
gganbu.
It's Gganbu. Gganbu.
gganbu. All right, the gganbu gang is created officially on TV after Dalgona. What kind of got you guys wanting to start this little group of y'all?
So it started. Go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
Well, we were just a group. I was hanging with Stephen, and others came to him, or we had these. It was mostly guys then, and we just kept talking. I was telling bee stories and stories about medicine and deliveries, and I would hear their stories, and we just we entertained each other that way. And I don't know, I think maybe it was Dan mentioned the word gganbu, and of course I know that it was from the Korean episode 6 with marbles, old man and young man. And I said, yeah, gganbu gang, that means friends forever. And boy, not even thinking we were going to be friends forever, but boy, our group is friends forever,
Yeah.
and it was just more like a nice thing to say. And then as the time we were there, oh my gosh, bonded I want to be friends forever,
Yeah. There was a stint where I got my mullet tangled with another guy with a mullet, and this other dude, Gabriel, with a beard. So we were stuck with each other there for a minute, just vibing and exchanging hair stories. But Rick he was always there. He was very popular, and everybody wanted to talk to him and learn about him. But that only lasted for a day, and then they both got eliminated pretty much at the same time. And I mean, it was at the same time. And then after that, I was like, damn. The homies are gone, and then I found Rick, and we got another bunch of guys together it was organic. We were just the ones who were talking and whatnot, and then we just gathered each other up and said, hey, we need friends and a gang to get through this, and let's do it. And that's when Dan was like, yep, gganbu gang.
That's lit. I like that. It kind of seems like it happened without you even having to try. And
yeah, 100%.
Y'all just totally cater to each other. That's excellent. So then we get a kind of segment of Rick. They kind of introduce you to the show. They say you're a physician from Armstrong County, Pennsylvania. You say you do everything in a big way, nothing in a small way. You're a beekeeper. You think about the bees, and you wonder if they think about you. Can you, tell me a little bit about that? Bees.
Every beekeeper, you never want to say the word honeybee to a beekeeper. He never shuts up. And we have thousands of stories. And every beekeeper is passionate with their bees. And we do think about them, and I worry about mine, and I fuss with them. And it was more of a joke. You wonder if they think about you.
Yeah.
But I started with a couple beehives. I got 13 now, and for a backyard beekeeper, that's a lot. I grow fig trees. Fig trees take a lot of work, and I started with a couple. Now I have 10. That takes a lot of work. Like everything I do, it explodes. But that's how I do everything. Nothing in a small way.
Like the tattoo on your cock.
No, like the brand new tattoo you got.
Yeah, I'm getting a nice one, and my leg is on my Instagram account now.
I saw that, Rick. I just followed you on Instagram, and I was seeing your leg. You show off your leg tattoo.
So cool.
It's on Instagram. I've had a lot of people ask me about it, and Instagram they're asking me about my arm tattoo, which actually many of the media did, and so I have like I said, I told the world I was going to get a tattoo, so I have to get one.
Freaking did.
That's lit.
And doesn't each flower stand for a grandchild? Yeah,
I have 18 flowers on my leg, each one with the initials of a grandchild. Orchids I grow orchids. And I have dozens and dozens of orchid plants. Oh my God, I have a greenhouse built in my backyard to hold these things, including my sunroom. So everything just, nothing's done in a small way. And I'm having number 19.
Congratulations.
My youngest son is having number 19.
Congrats.
And there's no room on my leg for this. I mean, and I don't want to put it higher above the knee because it's not going to be seen. I mean, they have to be seen with short pants on. And, so we'll figure out something. Number 19.
You just get a pair of these. Get a pair of
4-inch
these.
inseam.
Yeah, we need those. We need those.
Again, I'm 69 years old.
Oh yeah, ain't no one trying to see that.
Yeah, but you're tatted up, so it's cool.
Yeah, that too.
Exactly. All right, so now we'll gganbu gangs formed. We'll fast forward to warships. So your guys' team is up. It's time for y'all to get in the game, EA style. So y'all two are on the same team, and you guys are on the same shit.
I just want to interrupt real quick. When I saw
go ahead.
When I saw Warship, I was devastated because we thought we had it in the bag, about to win a game of tug of war. We were already thinking. I was already thinking about the next day, and I saw that, and I was just like, "Damn." And then
I'm already thinking about the next day.
I was thinking about the next day. I moved on. I mean, the other team knew it. They knew they were about to get beat. They were already crying and saying their goodbyes. They didn't show that, but they were. So I saw that, and I was just like, "Oh my god, here it goes."
Yeah, no, they definitely threw a 180 wrench at y'all and said, "Nah, we ain't gonna do that.
100%.
We got other plans." So you guys end up on the same team, no surprise. You're great friends already, and you got the rest of the gang with you. Is that correct? The rest
others.
yeah.
Everybody
the rest
and
of
a
the
few
gang.
others, and they were welcome.
So then you guys start. The game starts, and so it's getting tight. You know, it's getting down to the nitty gritty, and it's becoming to the last. The last couple moves in the game, and everybody wants to make one move. Everybody's choosing this, like even the captains, and then Rick is the only one who's like, "Nah, we ain't doing that. We doing my plan." And it's like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "It's in my gut. We doing this." And he's like, "All right, what kind of going through your mind like when everybody's going kind of against what you kind of are thinking?"
Because I knew where the boat was.
Yep.
How did you know where the boat was?
Because how the first one was.
You grab me,
I knew how they would put that one. No, I know how they positioned the first boat, and that's how they positioned this boat. I knew it.
Yeah.
There wasn't a doubt in my mind.
It was literally everybody against Rick in regards to which one to go to. As soon as I heard him say, what, 8, whatever.
You said, go with Rick, whatever Rick says.
Yeah.
He has low-key orchestrated most of this, do what he says. And then Dan was like, "Oh my God, my gut says to do 5 because I have 5 kids," or whatever his was.
Mm-hmm.
But we literally put all of our faith in Rick, and it obviously paid off. And it was absolutely incredible.
I made good calls before, and Dan came specifically, "What do you think, Doc?" And I said, "8." But I knew it. It was. I mean, I was 98% sure.
Yeah, there wasn't a doubt in your mind. You're like, "I'm sticking to this," and that's it. And that was amazing. Like, top tier episode. Like,
the first boat touched the edge.
Yeah.
It was a 1. And I knew that boat was going to touch the last line. And I knew the other 2 boats were touching the edge, and they all were. I mean, there's a pattern there. Battleships is a guessing lucky game, but if people place the boats, there's patterns. And I saw that pattern after the first boat was sunk.
That's amazing. I mean, were you able to elaborate that with your team, or was it kind of just like it was, and you had to make it quick, and you kind of just was it?
After they hit our boat, and we didn't have. Now the issue is I didn't know where the boat was. I just knew which way it would go once we found it. And he hadn't found it by then. And thank God, Dan guessed that one. It was his call to get F6. And but then once F6 was hit, I knew where the boat was. I knew we went down and not up, and I knew we went down again and not up.
What's crazy, Big D, is whenever our first ship was taken out, and it was the 2-piece, and it was like that. We had not hit anything. And I was like, no, they just took out our easiest piece. And when we hit theirs, it was the freaking big-ass ship, the biggest one. And I was
the 5 boat, yeah.
Of course, we have to take out the biggest one first. And then it was just, I was like, damn, we're done. It was fun. I was pretty much saying goodbye in my head. And then to come back was incredible.
I almost wish people got to see how much
missing after they found that first guy. They danced all around him with 3 more shots. Boy, did that save us!
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it was some interesting different strategies. Seeing some people lump their boats together, some people put them way apart. Someone's don't put in C3 because that's the most common area to put it in. So I mean, I don't play Battleship anymore.
When we guessed these 3, I called that when I told Dan C3.
Yep.
Was that it? Was that one of them?
That was me, yeah. And then I knew it was going horizontal. It was going to touch the edge.
You should have been captain.
No, I don't volunteer for anything.
All right. That's excellent. Well, become victorious. It's amazing. Y'all run back into the dorm. So then it's time to, they bring out the little machine, Pac-Man looking machine, and it's time to vote somebody out. And you say 232. You say you don't associate with doctors like 330. Why don't you associate with doctors? That's what you said.
Please don't air this one. But the day before, there's a day I got a call from Netflix that that I'm going to be on in some of these episodes. They're going to show me. And then he said, there's only one time you're saying something that isn't always so upbeat about talking about another doctor. And I said, oh, geez, I don't, that I wasn't going to be praising him, so to say. And, and that next day he emails me, hey, it was so nice to meet another doctor. We got to start connecting together. And I go, oh, wait till you see the show. The thing is, I'm opposite of him. And opposites didn't attract in this case,
What's just for the average viewer who wasn't part of the show, are you guys talking about the dude with the glasses who was
yes.
Me? Okay. Dr. V.
Right.
Okay.
Not that it's wrong with what he does and how he handles himself. It's just not what you do in association.
No, he came up to me in the middle. I didn't know he was I didn't know anybody there. But he comes up. Someone must have told him I was a doctor. He goes, hey, I hear you're a doctor. Yes. Hey, my name's Rick. How are you? He goes, I'm Dr. V, short for Vu. I said, Dr. V. I was Rick. I was like, well, he knew I was a doctor. I'm Dr. Rick Mercurio, But then I'm in family medicine, front lines, deliver babies, nursing homes. And he takes care of the Hollywood rich, and just a different kind of medicine for me. And I'm kind of more quiet, laid back. I've always been, and he just takes control of everything. He tried to, all these circles of energy and anxiety relief by chanting, I'm here, take a pill for that,
You don't even need to explain. There's a reason America loves you.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
We're just different, and there's a lot of surgeons that are a little bit like him. I just don't hang with them. I just want some down to earth people. We're nobody special. We're just nobody special.
So did both of you kind of have a consensus on that's who I'm voting for? Period. Before you go into the line.
Well, if his name was up where I was going to, otherwise I wouldn't have added it.
Yeah.
So if his name wasn't up there, who would have you voted for?
Whoever was up there.
Oh, okay, easy. What about you, Steve?
I wasn't going to put a target on my back, and because if you put a different number there,
that's a target.
That came up, and all of a sudden, Rick, he put up so and so, and then that so and so's 25 fans are going to . So I was going to. Again, I'm being a weasel. It takes guts to put somebody's name up there, and I don't have that. That's a fault of mine.
Hey, that's a smart business decision, though. You're making business decisions. What about you,
exactly
Stephen?
Right. That's right. It was a strategy, but still, I also lack the guts.
No. So if I was the first person, I would have voted for Big TJ, just because I saw him as the biggest threat. And it's not, he was cool. He was actually a much bigger personality in the show from the very beginning than they portrayed. Even before
I would have voted for him.
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite players, I would have voted for him. He also, he was, there's like 5 guys or maybe less. Steve was one of them, Dan, TJ, and really, I can't think of anything else, anyone else I thought would win this. It was those 3 guys. Mm-hmm. And I would have never voted for Stephen or Dan. I would have never voted for gganbu gang. And if there was only their names up there, I would have picked somebody else. Yeah. I would have put somebody else up there. I would have voted for TJ, but I loved him. It was because I respect him. Why I would have voted for him.
I do remember before we even went into red light, green light, that it was kind of like just murmuring. We were all talking, but none of us knew what was going on. And he was like, "Hey, we here," like getting the whole crowd riled up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was just off sheer size of him that I was like, he's an ex-professional athlete. He's freaking big. He's my biggest threat in what I'm best at, which would be physical traits and athleticism. If I could, I'm gonna vote this guy off. Although he was cool. Don't show this to TJ though.
Hey, TJ subscribed to the podcast, so he might be watching.
Voted for him in a second out of respect.
Yeah,
I thought he was powerful, and I wished I was him.
TJ, all of them due respect, man. You had to go, man. We love you, dog, but you just was too good at the game. We knew you had that pivoting prowess, and we couldn't have had that. All due respect.
He was really good at winning people over, just like Rick, except he was 16 times bigger than Rick. Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, so we fast forwarded. The whole gganbu gang makes it through the vote off. Wonderful. This journey continues. Next episode on Dragon Ball Z is we go to. They tell 232, Rick, got to do some chores. It's time to come on. Says, need somebody to come with you. He's like, Steven, come on now. You already know what time it is.
And real quick, did they just randomly call you? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Just over the intercom?
Well, why don't you?
Huh?
You know why they called me?
Why?
Because I was the Dokchi King.
Exactly. See? Exactly.
I practiced my head off. And there was a painting on the wall, you know, how the umbrellas and the marble games, and there was one of the ship. We didn't have warships then, by then. And I'm thinking there was a lady on the ship with her hand up. I guess she's waving goodbye, but I thought she was ready to throw a Dokchi card. So I thought that scene was we're going to have a Dokchi tournament. And I was showing a lot of people how to throw a Dokchi card, although we were using feminine pads they got from the bathroom. These girls brought these players after showing them. And I was saying, if you watch any of the ads to get people to apply to Squid Game, the challenge, there's always these 3 guards folding Dokchi cards, blue pack and a red stack. You know what I'm saying? They got to have this on the show.
Right.
Such a big part of the first series, how to get people to be interested. And the ads are folding dozens and dozens of cards. So they're going to be passing out dozens of cards to people. And one of those challenges has to be that. And I squawked enough about it. I think they made that chore purposely for me. And it probably wasn't even in the program that they were going to have that. But the fact that I kept bringing it up and they thought, it has to be there. They called my number because I was teaching people, talking about it. And then, of course, you were sitting next to me and said, Steve, let's go. I didn't think it was a contest. I thought it was a chore. And Steve would get some camera time with me. And I thought that would be wonderful.
Yeah, and that was all hindsight. At the moment, we had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty deep right there. That's
cool.
I mean, I figured you knew how to play. I mean, right when you went in there and just bam, bam, bam. But
first try.
I practice with my grandchildren, my kids, my wife especially. We are champions. I can flip cards this big, this big, this big, this big. Because I thought it was going to be on the challenge, and preparation. And no, I didn't flip all of those. I'm glad they made it look like that. Well, actually, I shouldn't have said that. I flipped all of those.
Didn't miss a single one.
I know there was 3 where I hit like 10 in a row and you missed like 3 in a row. And I was like, oh, God damn, why didn't they show
but you didn't smack them.
No.
I did win. I mean, but Steve got real good. He got real good at that. But, and then all of a sudden you get that speaker, 3, 2, 4, 3, you lost. And you never want to lose. And
I was like,
shit.
This was.
So what's kind of going through your guys' heads once the guard starts walking in the front?
Bye, Steve.
I saw him first. I was like, oh shit! Because what happened was we went in there and we just started exploring and seeing what was what because there was no clear indication of what to do. So we're all exploring, and then Rick was like, "Hey, there's fucking Dachi over here," and I was like, "Oh shit! I haven't ever played this. Show me how to do it." Basically. and then we just started playing, and then I don't remember if they said the game begins or what the hell happened, but anyway,
no, they didn't say anything. We just started playing. No words, and until the end when they say 2, 4, 2, 3, 2 you won, and 2, 4, 3 you lost.
We started, so we were playing for a while, and then so long to where we gave up, and it was like, let's go explore, because we thought we were wasting time. And then they said, come back, game is over. And I'm like, oh shit. Then came the guard, who I thought was going to beat me up, and so
he looked intimidating.
Yeah. He was big. He was big, and so yeah, I'm like, yep, it's over. Rick, what did you do to me? I'm just kidding. I was like, yeah,
it looked yeah. No, it looked like watching it like Rick set you up. That's what it looked like.
No,
it did a little bit, but I know he didn't do that, obviously. But it's just like right when he came in, he was just like, damn. And so, but luckily, it was all hunky dory, and we made it another day.
I thought he was gone, and I was going to maybe go instead of him because I'm not going to win this. But if one of us two can do it, let's leave him in the game. But I thought he was gone, and just.
I mean, Rick, how bad would it have looked if you walked out of that room alone and they say 243 eliminated? That would have.
Oh my gosh!
I'd be up there on stage making announcements. It was him. He I don't know. I probably would have said, take me next.
At that point in time, we were so hungry, so sugar malnourished that having those extra sugars and carbs was a freaking blessing. Everybody was so hyped. I got, I've never had this issue, but I got like sugar high. I was like giddy after I had it. And, but that's whenever, old girl, I was distracted. Old girl was there sitting by us. I'm pretty sure.
You're used to putting down pastries on the daily.
Yeah.
Think about if you had just today what's up and extended that, and then right now you had $4.5 million.
And what's crazy is after that, there was no, as far as I know, political way to eliminate somebody. You know what I mean? So
just for the games after that.
Almost.
As far as I know, I don't know.
And, yeah. After that,
wait, you didn't win?
I don't know yet.
Well, you'll see. I mean, there is another political thing. I won't. No spoilers on here. And once this is done recording, we can chit chat. But so they gave you the candy bar as a reward. Wonderful. We love that. And so now it's time for the second game, and that is the Jack in the Box. They bring 6 boxes out, and then they say they need 5 volunteers. Neither one of you step up. Smart. No. Did you guys think about stepping up at all? Or
no, not even close.
No? Yeah, nope. I probably set up and they tell you what's happening is each box contains either self-elimination or you eliminate some people. And so now they start going. Some people's calling out some other people. Eliminated, self-elimination. And then it comes down to 229. Our friend Felicia. She's stressing hardcore. And then all of a sudden it pops up. You got to eliminate 3 people. First person she eliminates is 130. It's because he had the advantage. I'm smart. I don't blame him.
I said that. I was like, why not eliminate the guy who just got the advantage? And then she did it.
He did call that out.
I thought, I don't know. I wish they could. I understand it, but I want to know what the advantage would have been. But still, like it's smart to do, but I think it should have been like, oh, you're safe if you did this, but whatever. Kind of sucks for him. He got really shitty into the stick. Then she decided
he was free and clear. He thought he was good to go.
He was smiling, cheese, and ready to go for it. He was already moved on.
He was on cloud 9. Yeah, he was chilling. And so then her eyes are looking all over the place. She's saying, "Where's Waldo at? Where's Waldo at?"
And I'm over here like this.
And she's
hiding his number.
What are you gonna fight?
Then she does the inevitable, and she chooses to eliminate 243. And she said, "Why was her reason?" She said, "Because he has a good alliance." Stephen, what kind of did you expect? Did you have any conversations with her before this? Did you know the girl at all?
No, not at all. The only experience I had with her, which wasn't even an experience, she ate like the last supper before with us, and I didn't get a chance to say anything to her, which I really wanted to. I was just, and I'm not 100% sure that was her. I'm like 95% sure that was her. and never got to say anything because I was freaking distributing the chocolate we just won, which they never aired. But other than that, no. And what's the real reason, which they didn't show, that she eliminated me was because she said that this alliance has no girls and that girls are strong too. So she picked me. And after she said that, I was like, cool. Yeah, we're good to go. I had moved on to the next day because I knew I was going to be good and clear. And then she calls me. I'm like, what the fuck? And then they show my reaction. I'm like, literally, I'm talking to the girl in our alliance. I was like, what is she talking about? And which was Lexi. And I was next to another lady. I can't remember her name. But anyway, I was completely shocked. Like, I was like, 243. That's my number. And then I looked down, and yeah, it was devastating. My heart was in my damn shoe.
I mean, man, I can't even imagine. Like, out of all people, you got 60 other people in here, and you're gonna choose me. Like,
yeah.
Then, after she's done with that, Stephen exits the room. She sets her eyes on another gganbu game prize, and that's 232. Rick, man, what did you do to this girl to make her vote you out, man?
That's exactly what I thought. You know, a little alert here. I have not watched episode 5 yet. And, I'm not planning.
Don't give it away.
I know how it ends. But I don't want to see it again. Not right now. I'm going to wait a while.
Okay.
That was hard for me because I didn't expect it. You know, I'm thinking Stephen, he could have expected it being who he was. Again, just like Stephen said, when she said my number, I had to think for a second, who is that? And couldn't believe it. It all of a sudden it's like my soul left my body. Not that I died, but boy, something went that moment. You know.
Yeah, no, I bet it's like you probably go numb after something like that. Like, wow, like you want to choose me, and there's other big people in here and big threats, and you know, I kind of understand, Stephen. Like, you're a dominating figure, so it's like, okay, you're a quote unquote threat, even though I don't like the term threat because for big guys, because none of the games had nothing to do with like size. So I don't like when people's like, oh, you're a threat. I'm like, just because how I look, like that means nothing in this kind of game. So I thought that was silly.
Which was people were at that point too.
Exactly. Like if you've even seen the show, none of the games require you to be big and strong and can bench press like 300 pounds. None of that requires none of that. So saying you're a threat is just like based off what, you know?
Off the way out, yeah.
So, but a lot of people weren't using that logic. So then everyone, once you guys exit, unfortunately, everyone's praising 229. How did you I know, Rick, you said you haven't seen it, but Stephen, what did you think about everyone praising her after that?
I didn't see that coming. That's for damn sure. I thought we had a really good, solid strategy going into it, and I thought we executed it well. Looking back at the seeing the actual show they aired, I was like, yeah, it does look like I'm the freaking leader because I was in the middle a lot, which I was trying to avoid, but we were hanging out most of the time there. But so yeah, I mean, I just wasn't perceptive enough to realize that it looked like I was a leader because we had so much time to spend together and waste together.
You were the leader. You were the leader.
I mean, I definitely wasn't trying to be.
And you weren't. You certainly weren't. And you didn't talk the whole time and over talk and tell us to be quiet. You know, but in your quiet way, your strong way, you were. And we never even talked about you as being the leader. Like, it was never like Steve's going to be the. You know, in my mind, he was the leader. That's it.
No, I appreciate.
Yeah, you definitely don't get to see yourself. Yeah. No, you definitely. I mean, I understand. Like, when you can't really see yourself in a certain position the way others see you. Like, other people might see you as, you know, the leader, and you're like, why would I be the leader? But it's always, the truth can always be from others' perception, and you don't even realize it. So
back to your question, Andre, though, it was after there was another young woman who was with Stephen, talking with Stephen, and then after 229 got rid of him, literally was going up to her like, hey, good job, girl. I was like, that bitch, like, you were literally just talking.
And she was like this whenever I got eliminated.
Right,
and
she was doing all that, and then she was telling her like, "Good job, girl. You did the hard thing. You did the right thing." I'm like, what? I get money's on the line. That's what it comes down to. Money's on the line. You gotta start playing the game.
Now that you said that, I don't blame her
Yeah.
whatsoever. But so to answer your question, I thought I was flying under the radar, good to go, and completely shocked. And I thought I was likable. I thought people liked me. So I thought they'd be like, girl, what the hell? No. Money's on the line, just like Chase said. I would have been praising her too.
Yeah, everyone was So if I'm gonna ask you guys a question. So if you guys were the ones to have to eliminate someone, do you have anyone in mind that you would have eliminated? I know you already said kind of like TJ earlier and whatnot. Is that still at this time in the game? I'll like try and put yourself back to in this moment, and you're looking around the room. Who do you think you would have had to aim for?
229, yeah, obviously.
That's a real hard question. That's I probably would have picked people I didn't talk to.
Okay.
I didn't
fair.
know.
That's fair.
Just like I have to explain it. We didn't know each other. This is nothing personal. I don't know you, and everybody I do know, we're friends, and I'm not going to go after a friend. And we might have been great friends, but somehow we never connected.
Okay.
I would have picked numbers. I don't know that guy, or I don't know that lady.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's completely fair.
Not even a friend. They could be the smallest person there, but if I didn't, I would pick people I didn't know, and just go by that.
I mean, I certainly never would have picked Felicia. She did a good job staying low key. I don't think I had seen her until the dinner before. I have no idea. Kind of, I said it several times on the. I don't know if they aired it, but I was saying I wouldn't eliminate anybody. That the games are plenty enough to get people up and out of here. So I wouldn't ever eliminate somebody. But if I had to, I mean, TJ was still in there. I mean, he's cool, but yeah, my biggest threat.
I feel that. Well, we'll see later in the game kind of how things go down, and things get shaky, to say the least. Things get shaky. But yeah, you guys, that was amazing journey watching you two. You guys are kind of like honestly two of the shining lights in the show, kind of showing real humility and humanity in competitors in the game. Y'all didn't come across the scene like y'all were trying to be somebody else that you weren't. You didn't come across as clout chasing. You didn't come across as selfish people in the least bit. And that's coming from an unbiased viewer standpoint. It's in my notes as well.
Bare minimum, you didn't come across as the villain.
Yeah, at least
you didn't come across the villain either. You guys came across as the heroes, to be honest with you. You guys are like the heroes of the show.
I don't even watch the episodes now that they're gone.
A lot of people were saying that in the comments.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were just being our true, genuine selves. I'm naturally inclusive. So is Rick, and yeah, we want to be good. We don't want to deceive. And like he was saying, he would rather help someone else win in the end than himself, which is just about as noble as you can be. So I mean, I'm glad they portrayed us as that, because it's just how we played. I don't think they had a choice.
Yeah, no, 100%, 100%. So I'm gonna ask each one of you. We'll wrap it up a little. So, do you have any? I'll start with Stephen. You guys, do you have any Stephen and Chase? You guys have any parting from these first 5 episodes thoughts or anything that you want to say to the folks before?
The main thing I wanted to get across, but it's kind of pointless because they didn't air it correctly, was my opinions on women, because she made it seem like I was sexist and didn't, believe in women. Was that I understand all too well how strong women are. I mean, I grew up with 5 sisters who would beat me up on the regular growing up, including one of my sisters who was significantly younger than me, would pick on me and beat me up. So I know just how strong girls are. And so I wanted to get that point across. But, I mean, it was kind of pointless. But as long as Alicia knows, then we're good. Other than that, I mean, shit. Live in the moment. Live your life. Don't worry about the future or the what ifs and what ends and whatnot, and just live in the moment the best you can, because that is when life is happening, in the moment, not in the future or in the past. That don't exist anymore. Live in the moment.
Yes, and don't stop living the moment. Live it to the very end. I mean, even when you get old, you take your chances, do some crazy things. If something you want to do, just do it. If you want to be 69 and play a reality game, go for it. Don't ever quit living. except for that one moment in time when you quit living.
Yep.
And it was such a blessing and an honor to be chosen. It was just something I didn't expect.
I guess it's kind of in the name. It is a game show, so it is a game for money, but it's a reality show too. And I mean, the reality of the situation is the real human, connection that was made throughout the whole thing, which I would have never seen coming. I'm thankful that, I got to go there with my best friend, which you could tell a lot of people were uncomfortable, out of their element. They were all alone. You're with people you didn't know. And fortunately, I was there with my best friend, and I was like, hey, we're vibing, dude. Like, we're here with each other. And I mean, I also met a girl who I ended up dating for 7 months, who I love dearly, and have a real human connection there. And just seeing the relationships that Stephen got to make, it's like out of a game show, out of a reality show, you would never think such beauty could come from something like that. Something much more real than, winning some money, which would be tight, but that's like unforgettable relationship.
Which is why it's important to live in the moment.
Yeah.
So you can make things like that come to fruition.
That's beautiful, y'all. Y'all speaking the gospel, and it ain't even
saying. Hey, man.
Come on now. Let me get some snaps. All right, well, that's excellent. Well, I appreciate y'all coming through and being guests on the Squid Games Aftermath podcast. Can I get y'all, where can the people find you if they trying to find y'all on social media?
We're the KC. We're the KC boys. Yeah, give us a follow. I'm also on official Stephen Lomas. That's STEPHENLOMAS. And what's my other account?
Alex and Steven
Show.
ALIX.
No, that's a weird way of spelling Casey.
And Rick's is on Instagram is Dr.Rick Mercurio. So there's periods in between.
Yeah, Dr.Rick Mercurio.
Mercurio, that's what it is.
With a period between the two words. And Facebook, I am Doc RAM, Doc Ram. I'm also on Twitter. I don't even know what my handle is. I don't use it much Twitter.
You're about to get blown up.
I'm getting comments on it. So I'm going to have to kind of open up my Twitter account and start paying attention. I just thought a social media guy, and Instagram and Facebook is really keeping me busy right now.
Hey, Facebook community, come on, step up now. You popping on Twitter, though. I seen Twitter already. You popping on Twitter, so you definitely need to check that out. Yeah, you popping.
Rick, you deserve it.
Yes, sir. You're the
brightest show,
Rick. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all definitely. And until next time, y'all.
Thank you.
Bye. Don't hang up.
Love you.
Yeah, when you end the recording, we have to sit in here for a little while.